Hi everyone. In this video, we will discuss sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction in yeast cell. As you can see on your computer screen, I have made a small lecture where I will discuss what is reproduction, why it's important. We'll discuss budding, we'll discuss the Ascus formation in yeast, and it is basically an introduction video of this particular topic. I'll make more detailed video on the same topic in my future video lectures. So if you like the content, then please do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. In this video, we will discuss sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction in yeast. So let me write down the topic, which is sexual and asexual reproduction in yeast. We will take the example of Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So this is the yeast cell that I'm going to discuss. Before discussing the sexual and asexual reproduction, let's discuss the importance of reproduction. Why reproduction is important, especially the sexual reproduction. In case of sexual reproduction, if the sexual reproduction is absent, you will always find clones of the parent cells. There will be no variation, and variation is important. Why? Because it helps in the survival of the progeny. These variations are going to help the cell to survive in those conditions. And how variation they are incorporated, because the one copy of particular gene comes from one parent, another copy comes from second parent, and it is important because sometimes they can get a poor form of a gene from one parent, and then the functioning of that gene can be backed up by the another parent. This is why it's important. Reproduction is important. Now let's take the example of yeast cell and discuss what are the different form of reproduction in the yeast cell. Here I'm taking the example of A and B cell type. These are haploid cells, and now what I'm showing you here is because of the mating they formed a typical diploid cell, and which is represented by AB. So why the process of mating these haploid cells, they formed the diploid cell, and in that case the single copy of each chromosome was provided by each cell. So you have the diploid cell that will undergo the vegetative growth. After that, it can lead to the another diploid cell by the process of budding. Here you can see there is a bud formation. That's why it's known as budding. And because of that budding formation, or because of that the process of budding, you will have a new cell. And this is the typical example of asexual reproduction and asexual reproduction, which is basically mitosis. Now, this particular vegetative cell, under the condition of starvation, when there is nutrient deficiency, the cell can undergo meiosis, and because of that it can lead to the formation of ascus. After the rupturing of the membrane, these cells are released and they function as the haploid cell, and then they can undergo again the process of mating to form the diploid cell. This is a very simple form that I have discussed here of sexual and asexual reproduction in yeast cell. I hope this is going to help you to start reading about this topic and start dig deep into the process of budding, dig deep into the process of ascus formation, dig deep into the process of meiosis. I hope now you understand what is sexual and asexual reproduction in yeast. We have discussed the cycle. As you can see on your computer screen, I have showed you the different steps that are involved in the reproduction cycle of the yeast. I will bring more topics in my future videos, and if you like the content of this channel, then please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.